It's wonderful to welcome Bethany McIlmoyl to this podcast.
Enough.
Yes. She plays the bass and she's currently attending high school at the Thomas A. Stewart School in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, the same town that I went to university at some 4 years ago. Yeah, how's it going, Beth?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I had a very, very busy week and now I get to chill, as the kids say, over the weekend.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm pretty tired. School was long,
Yeah.
long days for sure.
hmm Yeah, tell me more about that.
Oof. I mean, my first period's always fun. I just do guitar, and then the rest of the school, it's just all academic things. So it's just like, oh, it's tiring. But usually at lunch, I get to go play some music, so that's nice and relaxing, I guess.
Yeah.
But you get home and then you just feel it. Like you just sit down and then you're just so tired.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
yeah. How's Peterborough this time of year?
It's really, really nice. Like it's pretty cold, but it's nothing compared to January here. Like it it's pretty cold and it's pretty quiet. Like usually it's like loud in the summer and then it just goes silent during the fall. There's not a lot going on, but it's fun. Like it's nice. It's relaxing and a nice break from all the noise for sure.
hmm Yeah. I find that my favorite time to be in Peterborough is October, which happens to be my birth month. Is where the leaves turn brown and red, but there hasn't been too much snow yet. It's chilly, but there's still like sun, and again,
Yeah.
snow hasn't arrived yet. So that's the best. Like the rest will be just freezing.
Yeah, there were honestly not as much leaves changing color this year as there were last year. There were definitely color changes, but it wasn't as vibrant. Like it happened so fast. Like it didn't start as early as last year because it was warm. It was, I think, 20 degrees 2 weeks ago, like 20 something. It was insane. Like it's been so warm. I think last week was our first week of actual like cold weather. So that was nice.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
school was really warm.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you've grown up in Peterborough all your life.
Yeah, I live just a little past Peterborough in Duro. So it's a country-ish area. It is in the country, but I grew up there. Um, I still live here, obviously. Um, but Peterborough area, yeah, and I go to Apsley in the summer because my dad lived there and we have a place up there.
hmm
So that's always fun too.
hmm What do you like most about the town?
Of Peterborough,
Yeah.
I really like all the music. Like I think it's really cool because like you'll go places and it's like, oh, they've got music here, but then there's like no more. But in Peterborough, it's like you go to like down by like Jethro's, right? And once you walk down that street, it's just like you hear the music and then you go to another street and it's like there's another place. So there's so much going on and everyone is so nice about it. You know what I mean? Like when you go in there and you're, let's say you're nervous, like everyone makes you feel better. Like they're like, no, don't be nervous. Like this is going to be great. And they help you with anything that you need. And it's just really, it's a good community and I really like it.
hmm
So
Yeah.
that's nice.
So have you had a chance to play in one of these venues?
Yes. Yeah, I have played in Jethro's 2 times and in Black Horse once. And I'm looking to get out there more. I just need to see when Maddie is free next because she's pretty busy at the moment. Um, mm, yeah, I play a lot at school. Not tons this semester, but there's a rock band at school. So I was in that for a year or two, I guess, end of grade nine to all last year and like part of this year, but not all of it. Because, but I'm coming back next semester, so that's going to be really nice.
Mhm. Yeah, and the rock
Mhm.
band in question, is it Tommy and the Stewarts?
Yeah, horrible name. Absolutely awful name. But yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about the lineup of the band.
Woo. Okay. Um, so, when I was in it, it was me, my friend Faith, who was in another band with me, um, and Maddie, of course, Maddie, and this guy named Ethan, who that's kind of our band right there, those four. And then there was a guy named Owen, and he was amazing at guitar, but he went to university at Trent. Oh, then there was Lucy Farrell, and she's amazing at guitar too. And so there were three guitarists, a singer, and a bassist and a drummer. But then in came more singers, so we had like three or four singers. It was a lot. And this year it's just gotten more. Like everyone who was in it last year basically isn't there anymore right now because of all the schoolwork. So it's Lucy, another girl I know, three other people I know, and then another person. It's like there's like a band of like eight people. It's crazy. I don't know. It's gonna be really difficult to get in there. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Maddie, so I'm guessing we're talking about Maddie Hope,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
drummer.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm supposed to meet her next week, for the show. So, very excited for that. How did you guys know each other?
Maddie and I go like way back. Like way back. We didn't go to elementary together or anything. We actually forgot we existed until grade nine, but we met when we were like six or seven and were really good friends until we were like eight or nine, I'd say, like six to eight, seven to nine type thing, like a 2 year span, because we did swimming together for so long. And we realized that in grade nine, I'm like looking at something and I'm talking about it with her, and she's like, "Holy, I know you." I'm like, "Oh my God." And we talked about it together, so that was really nice. And then I realized she was in Tommy and the Stewarts, so I started going out and watching when she would practice with the band. And the band at that point was made up of the girl Lucy that I mentioned, Maddie, and two of my older sister's good friends. So I felt really comfortable in that room. I got to know everyone better. And then I realized that the guys were going to graduate. So I was like, they're going to need a bassist. And Maddie's like, you should totally take it up. So I'm like, okay, I will. So then I did, and I really liked it. So I thought, yeah, Maddie and I got really close through music, but we kind of met through sports. So that was pretty nice.
Mhm. How you judge Maddie as a drummer?
She's so good. Like it's frightening. It's really frightening because she's you wouldn't expect all the power to come from her. Like she's just so strong when it comes to drums. Like she's a very like small person, like but then she gets on the drums, she's just whacking them so hard. It's really cool to watch because I mean when I first saw her playing, I'm like, oh my God, she's amazing. But over the past 2 years, she's grown so much as a drummer. It's insane. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be in the singer Faith's. house practicing, and we'd all just kind of look at her because she's just so good. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's great because there are not that many women drummer out there that you can think of.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think the same goes with women bassists too.
Yeah.
I mean, I happen to know two of them, but they are both at just the local New Jersey area music scene. I think I
Yeah.
uh, told you about them.
hmm Yeah, there's not a ton of either of them, but they're they're there somewhere, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So in case anyone's tuning in by video, you are sporting a Rolling Stones shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah, I am. I have it on. I cut the neckline out of it like 2 years ago.
Hmm.
But it's just a Rolling Stones shirt. So it's really comfortable and I love the Rolling Stones, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I I remember like when I first heard them, I was with my aunt. I'm like, whoa, they're so good. And I was like 8 or 9. It was awesome. I
Do
just
you,
really enjoy music.
do you remember what was the song that was being played?
I think it was just Paint It Black. Like it was just like I really liked all the percussion in it, and I thought that was really cool. Um, Something really neat though. I was working and in the summer I was working as a waitress, and I was wearing this shirt because I forgot my uniform. And I went up to take a guy's order and he's like, I played with them once, and he talked about how they'd reached out and they wanted to play guitar with him, so he played with them, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. And I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but I he was just a really sweet older gentleman. He was really interesting to talk to, and I just thought that was really cool.
Hmm. Yeah. And of course, you mean this summer, like just now.
Yeah. Yeah, this summer.
Okay. Where did you waitress at?
At a small single, it's not the chain, but it's called Woody's. It's just outside Apsley, so it was about 10 minutes from my house up there.
Hmm.
Um, but I was cleaning dishes, partially cooking and waitressing. It was a lot, but it was good.
Yeah. I believe the current bassist is Ron Wood, right? Well, how do you think of him as a role of bassist?
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. He's really good. But it's like it's not like he's playing very similarly to how the other ones did. You know what I mean? Like it's very together. I think he's good. I think all of them, everyone in the band is so good.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked that they're still going. It is so impressive.
Yeah. I mean, they released an album last year.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not. I did not listen to it at all, but
Okay.
I heard about it. I think I just haven't gotten to that yet. I'm very into the older style of music and like listening to that stuff. Like I will listen to 80s, 70s, 60s, sometimes 50s.
Mhm.
But it's like when people release new stuff, it's usually just not as good and it changes my view of the band. And I'm like, I can't do that to myself. So I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Personally, I think the last great Rolling Stones album is Some Girls, and I think it was like in 1980.
Yeah, I really, really like them, but I can't bring myself to listen to the new album yet. I can't do it because I'm really nervous that it's just gonna not be as good as I think it is.
Hmm. Oh,
Someone who I do think releases great
yeah.
new music is Bon Jovi. I haven't listened to a ton of it, but it's like they're still releasing, and I think that's so impressive. And I love Metallica, and I love how they're staying consistent.
Mhm.
Like their new 72 seasons, was it? Or 70? 72 seasons? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so.
That one.
I don't pay much attention to what Metallica is releasing just yeah recently. So
That one was really good too. Like it's just I'm keeping up really well and they're really good. They're really good. I really like Robert as the bassist. Of course, Cliff Burton was the best, but I like Robert. It's good too.
oh yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like their song One. That
Mm.
that's a good song. Yeah, very somber.
It's a really good song. I whew, I like all of their music. That's the problem. It's like if I were to narrow it down to one song, it's hard. I do like the album Justice for All. I think that one's really good.
Yeah, that's the one where One is in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I really
rather underrated one in their canon.
for sure. I mean, Ride the Lightning and is it just I cannot remember what it's called. It's just the Black Album
Yeah, yeah,
is also really good, but it's the I think best known ones that they've released for sure.
yeah. The
'Cause
Enter Sandman and whatnot.
yeah, that's pretty pretty mainstream now, sadly. Just
Mhm.
kind of happened and then it was there for everybody. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you watched the documentary? Was it Some Kind of Monster about Metallica, the band?
I don't think I have. I'll check it out for sure, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, I think it was released in like 2004, so it's like 20 years old at this point, and it was it was made during the recording of their rather forgotten 2003 album, Sane Anger, and I think the entire band was just falling apart at that point, and they have the camera crew there to document their meltdowns and such. It's a very intriguing documentary for anyone who likes Metallica, the band.
I'll make sure to check it out then. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it, but I will, clearly. Um, yeah, that sounds cool. Sounds kind of sad for them. Like, imagine you're having like a rough month and someone follows you with the camera. That'd be
That,
kind of
that's
funny.
that's about exactly what happened. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of the 2011 collaboration with Lou Reed? Lulu, that's the name of the album.
Mm, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've heard that one either. I think it's that little, honestly. I think it's something that wasn't listened to a lot, so it's just I haven't heard it yet. But again, I will listen to it.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm more of a big album Metallica person, like all like 72 seasons, Justice for All Black and Ride the Lightning, because I listen to all of it together. I'm more of that kind of listener.
let's see. Yeah. That's my favorite Metallica album, period. And it's one of my favorite of the Lou Reed albums. I think I was introduced to Metallica through Lou Reed, who I got into first. He's a grade A New York rock musician, yeah, Velvet Underground and whatnot. And that was his last recorded album before he died. And he
Yeah.
decided that it's going to be a collaboration where um he recites like sort of spoken word as poems while James Hetfield was like yelling his lungs out and there's this crunchy drum heavy instrument in the background. Yeah, it's
That sounds cool.
oh yeah, and I mean it divided everybody. Like Metallica fans definitely hated it, and Lou Reed fans were, as always, confused. But yeah, in retrospect, it probably the greatest music ever recorded.
I'll have to listen to that then. I that sounds really interesting. Like I don't know if I can say it sounds good or it sounds bad because I don't think any music is really bad per se. It's just different. But that definitely sounds interesting. It sounds fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, you should. You really should listen to it. Yeah, let me know what you think.
I will. I will for sure.
Um, how did you start learning to play the bass?
Ooh, I honestly, I play piano. I've played piano for about 3, almost 4 years now. I took lessons for piano, and my piano teacher just happened to be in a blues band. So I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And I talked to her about Tommy and the Stewarts before I was in it. I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. And I'm like, I'm thinking about taking up the bass. And she's like, oh, I play the bass. And she showed me all her basses. I'm like, these are so cool. So she actually lent me one of her basses so I could play it. I have not taken a lesson for it yet. But she lent me that bass and I got an amp and I was just like, oh, this is so cool. So I started teaching myself random songs, it was so much fun. And I just thought this is really something I love to do and I'm good at it because I picked it up in a week or so. And I'd never played a stringed instrument before, so I'm like, this is really neat. And I got good at it and I got better at it and I joined Tommy and the Stewarts. I'm like, this is really fun. So I stuck with it.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's all kind of because Maddie pushed me. And my piano teacher had a bass handy that I could borrow. That was really nice of her.
Yeah.
I also I bought an amp from her. She's I don't know how old she is, but she's at the point where she doesn't want to be carrying around the heavier amp. My amp is around 70 pounds, I want to say. It's pretty heavy. Um, but it's a PV amp and she didn't want it. She bought a new one, so she sold me that. So if she hadn't done that, I wouldn't be playing. And I'm so, so happy that she did it because I really love this stuff.
Mhm. Yeah. Do you still play the piano?
Oh yeah, all the time. Like daily. It's so much fun. Like I don't do lessons anymore because I found last year I was really struggling academically. But I love playing piano and it's always been like I'm a good learner by ear. I can listen to songs and then figure them out. Um and I'm good at it, you know what I mean? So it's like it's something I want to stick to and keep working on. So I play it every day and we just got a new piano and it's just the loveliest thing. It is the best. We got a grand piano and I've never had one in my life or really played one. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
incredible. Uh, yeah, and yeah, I'm glad you played more than one instrument, the piano and the bass and whatnot. And I certainly hope that you can incorporate both of those in a rock music setting.
Yeah, I totally could. I mean, piano's super versatile. It can be soft, it can be really intense. I mean, you just got to find the right balance for it and figure out where it belongs, and it'll totally work. I mean, I've got all my guitars over in that side of my bedroom, and so I can just, if inspiration strikes me, leap across my bed and grab a guitar. I mean, it's pretty good. It's accessible right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So speaking of the Rolling Stones, there are actually three like really interesting movies like about them that you can check out. So there's this documentary in 1970 called "Give Me Shelter," which is based on one of their uh famous hit songs, and it's about their was it 1969 1970 Altamont Freeway concert. I don't know if you heard about that one. It's quite
I
popular.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
the Hells Angels and whatnot. Yeah,
I've
security
I've
guard.
definitely heard of that one, but I still haven't seen it. I don't watch a ton of the documentaries, but when I do, I enjoy them. But I don't have. all a lot of time. I have a lot of school.
Mhm.
hmm But I'll definitely check these things out. I mean, I'm totally down to do that.
Mhm.
hmm
And Martin Scorsese did a 2008 documentary with them. I think Rolling Stones has a lot of significance in the Scorsese film canon. So he did a movie with them called Shine a Light, and it's pretty straightforward concert documentary chronicling their tour for their 2005 album, A Bigger Bang. Yeah, I believe that's the name of it. Um, and also this is the weirdest one. It's called Sympathy for the Devil, but in some countries it's called One Plus One. But I always know it as Sympathy for the Devil because yeah, that's
That's
the name of
weird.
what
One
it
plus
is.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
But this is by a French filmmaker, Jean-Luc Godard, who by that time was already one of France's best-known filmmaker, and he made this movie in like 1968, which is where like French society was in upheaval because there were these like students who were protesting and whatnot. And he made these movies uh, interspliced between footage of the Rolling Stones rehearsing and also of images of well-known revolutionary communist leaders like Mao and whatnot. So
Yeah,
if you're into that, then yeah,
I'll have to check that one out. I wonder what it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be called Sympathy for the Devil here. I
yeah,
think it'd be
most
so
likely.
interesting if it wasn't, though. It might just be in countries where it's very frowned upon to not be Catholic or something like that, you know?
Perhaps, perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure to check those out. Actually, that sounds pretty good. I've definitely heard of the first one that you mentioned. Like, for sure, I've heard of that one, but I haven't seen it yet, but I'd actually been meaning to watch it.
Mhm.
Um, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a very well-known documentary.
hmm Yeah, because it's just the name of it. It's just like, oh, I've heard of that one, you know. It's definitely a good one.
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah. So, how did you come to know Ken John Jones, also known as Jonesy, and his podcast Jonesy's Corner?
I really, honestly, I think it just happened one day. Like,
Yeah.
I think I was on my Instagram. I'd followed him on Instagram after I saw him tag Maddie on a story, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So he had reached out to me and he's like, hey, do you want to be interviewed? And I'm like, that sounds awesome. And then he talked to me over the next week or so, and we talked about it, and then we got to do it, and it was a lot of fun. Like, we talked about this stuff, musical interests, and you know, all that stuff, and just basically Instagram. Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does pretty short interviews. I remember I was on his show once, and I think it was barely lasted like 5 or 10 minutes.
I think mine was almost 20 minutes or
Oh, okay.
so. So it was long enough. Like, it was, we talked about stuff, and I think it was really fun. Like, I like conversing with people, so this is fun for me.
I see. Yeah. I invited him on my podcast too, and I think we've somehow managed to stretch it out for an hour.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is impressive.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
I'll send you the link to the episode after we're finished.
yeah, I'd like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Hmm. So, to what extent do your family members share your music taste?
Oh, um, um, I like a lot of music, and it really depends on what part of it we're talking about, because I like from blues, jazz to like classic rock, and like metal like sounds like they're burping metal. So they don't like that. They don't like the burping. And I'm not my mom likes some blues and some jazz, but she's not a huge fan of it. My little sister likes a fair bit of music. She likes, I think she's really into rap and classic rock. It's a weird variety, but I love her and that's okay. My older sister is very into mainstream pop music and some rock music, but it's usually mainstream pop. And my dad doesn't listen to a lot of music publicly, but when he does, it's basically like classic rock and like hair metal, I guess. Just light stuff. Like I'm very into heavy stuff and fast stuff, but it's just they're not as into that as I am.
Mhm.
But I think to a certain extent we share some interests.
I see. Yeah. I think I'm into everything except for K-pop. So, if I can kind of cater my some of the music I like to the music that say my parents like, and to a lesser extent my brother. He doesn't really care about music at all. Um, but I do remember that when I played a certain music that I am quite fond of, they all get weirded out. I remember I played him Serge Gainsbourg. He's a French singer and a very odd French singer at that. He's very explicit in his
Oh.
uh, lyrical themes. Yeah, just to yeah, give you a hint of what he's about. But he's wonderful. I think he's wonderful. Yeah, his voice is wonderful. His expression is wonderful, and so on.
Mhm.
But yeah, when I played his music, everybody's like weirded out, even though he says, even though yeah he sings in French, but everybody understand what he's talking about.
I mean, the thing with that is most mainstream pop now is about all that stuff. So where's the difference? It's just a different language. That's like most mainstream pop is just about non-appropriate things anymore.
Mhm.
Less about, I don't know, having fun, more about having fun. And so I don't know. It's kind of just the same thing, just French. So I don't know why that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know either. But that was like in the 70s, so maybe the times wasn't ready.
Yeah. Um, mm. My thing is it's like I don't really like country music
Yeah.
and people find that weird. But I'm like I live in the country, but I don't like country music. Like I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like if I got a choice, I wouldn't listen to it like exclusively. I would definitely not. But people find that weird, and it's like it's just an opinion. Like no big deal.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, it's basically the same as blues music, but it's more popular in a certain region other than rather than another.
Yeah, I mean blues, Peterborough is very, very blues oriented. I have to be honest. There's so many blues jams, it's insane. There's like four, I think, which is like way more than you'd find in a different city. This is really awesome. It's really cool.
Nice.
But some people find that like, oh, you go to those? I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. Like, why wouldn't I? You know?
Yeah.
Some people find that strange.
Mhm. Yeah. The thing about those blues songs is that they can go on literally for forever if you let them.
Yeah, I mean, Very long, very, very long. Because I mean, they're very repetitive throughout the verses, like instrumentally. And I mean, so if you wanted it to, it could just go forever, forever, forever. Like it could last a long time. That'd be fun, actually.
Mhm. Yeah.
People would get annoyed for sure, but like it'd be fun.
All right. So,
Yeah.
what are your plans for winter and the Christmas season?
I am so excited for the winter and Christmas. I love it. Um, I am obviously gonna finish up the semester and try not to cry during exams because oh my gosh, it's so hard. But uh my little sister and I really, really enjoy going outside and playing in the snow together. It's just a lot of fun, sledding, making snowmen, that kind of stuff. That's gonna be fun. For music, for me, I'm probably just gonna do a lot of practicing and possibly some assemblies at school if I decide that's what I want. Or, because Tommy and the Stewarts, I might rejoin this semester in the end. I don't know. Ooh, otherwise, though, my older sister goes to Wealth University and she's going to come back December 13th, I want to say. So that's exciting. I get to see her soon because I haven't seen her since mid-October, I want to say. So it'll be nice to see her. And obviously Christmas. Everybody loves Christmas. You're crazy if you don't like Christmas. Um, but I am really excited to get a lot of practice time in because I mean you get that whole week or two of break. Maddie is texting me so much. Okay. So you get all this time and you can really practice and it's just like you get back and you're like, I'm so much better than I was. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I got my first bass. Um, mm, it wasn't last Christmas. Last Christmas, I got my record player, and my aunt collected records. Both of them did. And one of my aunts just passed away quite recently, like a month, I'd say. And she had wanted to give me all of her records. So there are hundreds of records in my closet in my boxes that I can just put on and it's great. I love my player. It's an Audio Technica. It's great. But yeah, about two Christmases ago, I got my first bass, and it was just like a big like flip for me because I'm like, this is mine. I can use it whenever I want to. So that was like the Christmas break really like it makes me remember like how much I learned. So it's like I improve a lot during the Christmas break. So that's always really nice.
Yeah. One of the things I'm quite anticipating about in Christmas is that the possibility of finally having a normal sleep schedule. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
right. It's so bad.
yes.
How is yours looking right now?
Um, well, not normal. So, but I sleep enough to keep myself awake during the daytime, but not enough to to wake up restfully.
Okay, that's really fair. Because I will wake up and I'm still tired and then I go back to sleep. Like it's I usually fall asleep at around midnight or 1 in the morning for me, which is really, really early in the morning for you. So it's pretty late for me. But then I wake up at around 8 or 9 and I'm exhausted. It's so bad. It's horrible. Except for when school happens, then I'm waking up at 7 and getting like 6 hours of sleep,
Yeah.
which is not great, but I'm managing, so that's good.
Yeah. Speaking of Maddie, if she's still, texting you right now, tell her that, you're doing this and I say hi.
I'll tell her after we're done. She stopped texting. She was sending a bunch of Instagram reels.
Okay. So,
I'd assume about the bassist and drummer being in love. That's usually
um,
what they are. Just
okay.
message her.
Well, she's obviously hinting at something, and you should take the hint.
Yeah, I know she makes those jokes all the time because we like to just jokingly flirt with our friends, like Faith and them. It's just lots of fun.
I see.
So she sends me those videos and laughs with me about them.
Mhm. Yeah, the last
Probably one of those.
I think the last time I tried to do that, she changed her name to Instagram user.
Yeah, maybe. Oh my gosh, that'd be so bad. Yeah, no, I make those jokes with her almost daily. Like it's like we'll see a video and it's just like this is so us. Or we'll be walking through the hallway and I'm like, Maddie, and then she hugs me and it's really funny. Yeah, it's just I love Maddie. She's like one of my best friends and, I love being around her. It's awesome.
All right. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm seeing her next week, so I'll tell her you said hi.
Yes, of course. Did she have to reschedule hers?
Yeah, yeah,
From
because of the concert and whatnot, that she had to do.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. She did have something last week. That makes sense. I was kind of confused because she posted the videos from when she was out, and I'm like, don't you have something going on? Like I was a little nervous that she'd forgotten, but she obviously did not.
Okay, well, speaking of Christmas, there's one Christmas movie that will likely bring the entire movie family together, unlike my experience with Serge Gainsbourg, and that is Saving Christmas starring Kirk Cameron. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but I have to see it.
Oh yeah, it's I think be sure to get your entire family together if they happen to be in the house at the same time to see it because it's one of the worst uh insults against Christmas ever, even though it's a pro Christmas movie. But watching that movie will make was it Ebenezer Scrooges and the Green Grinch out of everybody.
Oh, that's funny.
It's,
I My favorite Christmas movie is probably just Home Alone because it's so well known and it's so easy to watch because it's like,
yeah,
it's good, right? And it's funny.
yeah. I like the parts in Home Alone where Joe Pesci tries not to say naughty words.
Yeah. The third one though, when they changed the person from Macaulay Culkin,
Mhm.
that was bad. That was
Yeah, yeah.
really bad. But that was funny bad. Like we sat there laughing at it. It was so
Yeah, that might be the Home Alone movie that I watched for the first time. I think it was on TV once, and John Hughes was still like receiving writing credits, and that might be his last like Home Alone movie where he actually receives a writing slash story credit or whatnot. But yeah,
probably. I'm not sure. I just know not my thing.
yeah.
I liked the first two ones better for sure.
Mhm. And I believe in Home Alone 2, there's this one scene where Macaulay Culkin goes to this hotel and there's this man who points him to,
Donald Trump,
and that guy
ugh.
becomes the president.
Oh, sadly. Sorry, I'm personally, I don't like him at all. Nothing, nothing. No love, no compassion, no care of him. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's
And I'm fine with publicly saying that because everybody knows how much I hate him.
mhm.
It's a deep hate.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly hope that, in this Christmas, he gets visited by four ghosts and he becomes like a more likable human being.
A human being, period. Like he's treating people
Yeah.
like garbage. It's so bad. Just like be a person. Don't be crazy.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Uh, Weird. They'd rather have a psychopath than a woman leading the country. Like it's a sad truth. It's a very sad truth.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, that scene, I'm just laughing because I mean, they filmed that before they knew Donald Trump was as bad as he was. I don't think he would have been in it if they knew how bad he was.
Mhm.
But I mean, back then they really didn't know. They didn't know until he just showed up and made it known. Like, have you ever seen Back to the Future?
Um, I know the movie. Yeah.
Okay, because in the second one, there's this character named Biff,
Yeah. Biff
and
becomes
he's
like a
got
billionaire or
his
whatnot, right?
yeah, his the second movie where he's just this complete jerk who's like a billionaire and he's got this hotel and he's all this and that. It's like he saw that movie and went, "That's gonna be me in 10 years." Like it was horrible. It's just so similar. It's scary.
Yeah. And the future, according to Back to the Future 2, which was released in what 1985, was 2015. So
Yes.
that was the year when Donald Trump starts having ambitions to become the president, which he unfortunately defeated.
Yeah, twice. Somehow. But you know what's good is if people make it through these next 4 years, that he can't run again because he would have done 2 terms,
Hmm.
which kind of needs to happen. He's got to go.
Hmm.
Not happening again. Just tell you that one.
Well, not unless he applies for Canadian citizenship and start joining your politics.
If he does, I'm sending out a personal invitation. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna catch my fist, catch these hands. I'm gonna start throwing them. It would be really bad for him. Just a frail little old guy. Like he's got security. So what? Like no one really likes him. I hope.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want him. We don't want him here.
Mhm. Hey,
Mm.
well, so final question for you, Beth. What does music mean to you?
Everything. Music is everything to me. Like it's like I music and family, that's kind of my main, those are my big things. I love my family so much and they mean everything to me. But music keeps me rounded, like it keeps me sane because it's like if I'm having a rough day, I can cheer myself up with music. Or if I'm having a really great day, I can make it better with music. Or, music brings people together. So it's like I make friends through music. I can make people happy through music. I can make myself happy through music. So it's everything, like it's so important to me and who I am as a person. So I really, really love music because it's done a lot for me. So
Yeah,
that's always nice.
yeah, could have put it better myself. Thank you very much, Bethany McIlmoyl of Peterborough, for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.